Castes in India. The problem of surplus man is equal to widower is much more important and much more difficult than that of the surplus woman in a group that desires to make itself into a caste. From time immemorial, man as compared with woman has had the upper hand. He is a dominant figure in every group, and of the two sexes has greater prestige. With this traditional superiority of man over woman, his wishes have always been consulted. Woman, on the other hand, has been an easy prey to all kinds of iniquitous injunctions, religious, social or economic. But man as a maker of injunctions is most often above them all. Such being the case, you cannot accord the same kind of treatment to a surplus man as you can to a surplus woman in a caste. The project of burning him with his deceased wife is hazardous in two ways. First of all, it cannot be done simply because he is a man. Secondly, if done, a sturdy soul is lost to the caste. There remain then only two solutions which can conveniently dispose of him. I say conveniently, because he is an asset to the group. Important as he is to the group, endogamy is still more important, and the solution must assure both these ends. Under these circumstances he may be forced, or I should say induced, after the manner of the widow, to remain a widower for the rest of his life. This solution is not altogether difficult, for without any compulsion some are so disposed as to enjoy self-imposed celibacy, or even to take a further step of their own accord and renounce the world and its joys. But, given human nature as it is, this solution can hardly be expected to be realized. On the other hand, as is very likely to be the case, if the surplus man remains in the group as an active participator in group activities, he is a danger to the morals of the group. Looked at from a different point of view, celibacy, though easy in cases where it succeeds, is not so advantageous even then to the material prospects of the caste. If he observes genuine celibacy and renounces the world, he would not be a menace to the preservation of caste endogamy or caste morals as he undoubtedly would be if he remained a secular person. But as an ascetic celibate he is as good as burned, so far as the material well-being of his caste is concerned. A caste, in order that it may be large enough to afford a vigorous communal life, must be maintained at a certain numerical strength. But to hope for this and to proclaim celibacy is the same as trying to cure atrophy by bleeding. Imposing celibacy on the surplus man in the group, therefore, fails both theoretically and practically. It is in the interest of the caste to keep him as a grahastha, one who raises a family, to use a Sanskrit technical term. But the problem is to provide him with a wife from within the caste. At the outset this is not possible, for the ruling ratio in a caste has to be 1 man to 1 woman, and none can have 2 chances of marriage, for in a caste thoroughly self-enclosed there are always just enough marriageable women to go round for the marriageable men. Under these circumstances, the surplus man can be provided with a wife only by recruiting a bride from the ranks of those not yet marriageable in order to tie him down to the group. This is certainly the best of the possible solutions in the case of the surplus man. By this, he is kept within the caste. By this means, numerical depletion through constant outflow is guarded against, and by this endogamy morals are preserved. It will now be seen that the 4 means by which numerical disparity between the 2 sexes is conveniently maintained are: 1. Burning the widow with her deceased husband. 2. Compulsory widowhood, a milder form of burning, 3. Imposing celibacy on the widower, and 4. Wedding him to a girl not yet marriageable. Though, as I said above, burning the widow and imposing celibacy on the widower are of doubtful service to the group in its endeavor to preserve its endogamy, all of them operate as means. But means, as forces, when liberated or set in motion, create an end. What then is the end that these means create? They create and perpetuate endogamy, while caste and endogamy, according to our analysis of the various definitions of caste, are one and the same thing. Thus the existence of these means is identical with caste, and caste involves these means. This, in my opinion, is the general mechanism of a caste in a system of castes. Let us now turn from these high generalities to the castes in Hindu society and inquire into their mechanism. I need hardly premise that there are a great many pitfalls in the path of those who try to unfold the past. And caste in India, to be sure, is a very ancient institution. This is especially true where there exist no authentic or written records, or where the people, like the Hindus, are so constituted that to them writing history is a folly, for the world is an illusion. But institutions do live, though for a long time. They may remain unrecorded, and as often as not customs and morals are like fossils that tell their own history. If this is true, our task will be amply rewarded if we scrutinize the solution the Hindus arrived at to meet the problems of the surplus man and surplus woman. Complex though it be in its general working, the Hindu society, even to a superficial observer, presents three singular uxorial customs, namely, I. Sati, or the burning of the widow on the funeral pyre of her deceased husband. 2. Enforced widowhood, by which a widow is not allowed to remarry. 3. Girl marriage. In addition, one also notes a great hankering after sannyasa, renunciation, on the part of the widower, but this may in some cases be due purely to psychic disposition.